Hey there, comic book fans. I'm finally back with a pull list. After missing out last week, I was not able to get over to my comic shop, at least not while it was open. I managed to get over there while it was inexplicably closed one time, but that's a whole other story. And there's not really a story. I just went there and it wasn't open. But anyway, got 2 weeks worth of comics. The first 4 are from last week. And the next 11 are from this week. A lot this week, but altogether it was about, I think it was exactly $40.16 worth of comics. So at $20 a week, that's about my budget average. So that's good. And I also picked up this Valiant 2016 preview. I guess Valiant's got some new comics. I still only collect one Valiant comic, but pretty much all of their comics are good. I just don't want to spend $3.99 a pop for them. Maybe one day if I ever search through a dollar bin, which I usually don't do, I'll look for them then. Oh, Faith #1. That's a Harbinger book, so I'll have to look for that. But just a little preview to start you off, and now we'll move you on to last week's comics. Look at all this direct sunlight we got going on here. How wild. Shadows and sunlight. I usually don't have that, but I got to the comic shop during the daytime today. But here's Savage Dragon 209. Savage Dragon, always good. It's a book you can just hop on board anytime you want. Savage Dragon's getting married. His girlfriend got pregnant. They're gonna have a problem with the baby trying to rip out through her belly. But I liked the first issue that Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane did together of Spawn. That was pretty good. It was an all-battle issue, basically, to introduce. But if you're looking to jump on Spawn, get the last issue that came out, whatever heck number that was, 159 or something. Because Eric Larson, who does the Dragon, and Todd McFarlane are teaming up on the art and the writing and the plotting to do Spawn. So that was kind of interesting. And I'd never bought Spawn before, or more than a few issues. But I always like Savage Dragon. He's created a rich world here. This is actually Savage Dragon's son who's taken over the book, since the book moves forward in real time. So that's kind of interesting thing too. It's a Gasoline Alley type comic. But anyway, Savage Dragon number 209. And here we go with Revival number 35. I had just heard that this book is ending next year. I don't know when next year. I don't know how many more issues are left, how many they're going to go to, but next year they're going to wrap up this series. It's been a good series. Small town in, where is it, Wisconsin? People come back to life, and its effect on everyone. Always has some nice covers, too. Look at that. Coming out of the shadows. This is really weird, shooting with all these shadows. But anyway, Revival's Tim Seeley, Mike Norton. It's a good series. You can, of course, get them all in trade these days. The end is in sight. Either, wait to the end of it and buy all the super deluxe hardcovers, track down the issues, find it in trade. It's a good little horror story. And here we go with Paper Girls number 3. I picked up number 1 and didn't like it so much. Picked up number 2 on a whim. I didn't put it on my list or anything, but they had extra copies and it was a slow week. And I really liked, I don't know what the heck's going on here. Don't want to spoil anything, so that's only one page you get. This is a really strange book. Picked up issue 2 and liked that a whole lot better. So that I put number 3 on my pull. Well, this will see if I continue to like it. I'll put some more issues on. I'll either put it on my pull permanently or go issue by issue. I'll see about that. But so far, I'm looking forward to number 3. This is weird 80s turned into some. I can't tell if it's a sci-fi, fantasy, mystical tale. We don't know yet. It's just this group of paper girls who I think stumbled onto the end of the world. Or maybe not. It's really not revealed. But issue 2 was interesting. Issue 1, like I said, I found less interesting. But I say start with issue 2 if you want to give it a try. Here comes East of West 22. Always a good story. Oh my God, I opened right up to these stupid text pages. Sorry. East of West has been interesting of late. They've moved away from the big war and kind of moved into a smaller diplomatic area where we got to see a little bit of the goings-on between two of the states, actually three of the states it would be, and sort of their moves and counter moves. I don't know what you'd call it, diplomatically, sleeper agently, something like that. But they after a few issues of shooting war, we went into kind of this behind the scenes war. So I think East to West is a good book. If you like a book about weirdness and politics and a strange alternate timeline, check this one out. Now here comes Walking Dead 149. Oh my, that cover is just straight up evil. Negan is back. I don't even want to open this one up to, you know what Charles Adler's art looked like anyway. In case I spoil anything. But at the end of last issue, Rick went to see Negan about something, and I guess he needs Negan for some reason. We'll have to see what. I'm interested to find out exactly what he would need Negan for as his little compound starts to fall apart around him. But man, just the whole slumping over Rick and Negan just looking evil and a little like the Punisher. This has got to be my favorite Walking Dead cover in a long, long time, and I'm really looking forward to reading this issue. And now Trees is back amongst the shadows. This is kind of getting all film noir now. Ooh. But anyway, I'm a reader of Warren Ellis's. He's got a weekly newsletter. You can just go onto the internet and search for him, and you can find it. He sends an email weekly newsletter that tells you all the stuff he's working on. And I think it was November, he said he had something he calls a mystery neurological event, where something went wrong with him. The doctors couldn't really figure out exactly what, but he's better now, but he lost a lot of work time. That's why Trees hasn't been out. But now it's back. There's one of those mysterious trees. We'll find out what they're for, maybe. Or the world will just go on around them, which is what this series has been about. The world going on around these mysterious trees. But it's good to hear Warren Ellis is not sick anymore, so he's back to writing. And here we go with Stray Bullets number 10. I don't know how many issues this volume is going, but it seems like we're coming near the end of the story. Last issue was very good. It was all about these two making their plan to take down, what is his name? Spanish Scott. This is the goofy everyday guy who's kind of mixed up with this criminal girl right here, and you just know he's in over his head. But they're trying to take down her boss, Spanish Scott, and steal some money and do that, and you just know it's not going to end good because David Lapham crime stories never end well for the people involved. But it's just such a good book. Matter of fact, who was it? Wednesday Serial just read and reviewed another one of his stories, Murder Me Dead, which was also excellent. Murder Me Dead, I think, is from the early 2000s when he took a break from Stray Bullets to do a 9-issue miniseries, another crime one, just sort of self-contained graphic novel, Murder Me Dead, which you can find out there. I think Wednesday Serial found all the issues, but you can also find it in trade form, and it's just such a good his crime stories are so fun and complex and miserable, and they're just a joy to read. So check out Stray Bullets or anything else from David Lapham. And here we go with Southern Cross issue 6. Becky Cloonan, Bellinger, Lowridge. I think this is the last issue of this. There's our hero right there. I don't want to spoil anything, it being the last issue, but it's all about her going to check out her sister who died off in the Jupiter somewhere, so she's taking this spaceship ride, and it's just this weird spaceship ride. Something's going wrong on there where the warp drive is talking to her, and there's alien stuff, and no one knows what the heck is really happening, and there's corporate shenanigans in the background, and it's very kind of grounded science fiction, but then with this little weird mysticism thrown in that no one quite knows what's going on. And we'll find out in this issue, hopefully, what's going on. I would buy. I think this is the last issue, but I'd still be buying it if it was a continuing. It's a excellent story. Southern Cross, number 6. Now here we have Saints, issue 3. I'm liking these matte finish covers on Saints. Wow, all those crazy shadows. This was another one, much like Paper Girls. Bought the first issue of. Was undecided about the second, didn't put on my pull, but then they had it at the comic shop, and it was a slow week, same week as Paper Girls. So I picked it up, and I liked the second issue. And so I decided to put a third on my list. Not sure if I'm going, this one we'll see if I'm going to put it on my pull list for permanent, or just go issue by issue. But either way, I liked Saints numbers 1 and 2 well enough to get number 3. So it's a story about all these modern day people who are reincarnations, I guess, of these old Catholic saints. So we'll see what becomes of them. Then we have Rachel Rising, number 38. Boy, I'm losing my voice here. But right before now, I was hanging out in the comic shop talking to a friend of mine, and the guy who runs the comic shop too, and we must have been there for about an hour, 20 minutes chatting about comics, and now I've got 14 comics to talk about, so better take many water breaks here. But Rachel Rising, excellent comic, issue 38, horror. So, you know what, I'm going to have to do a video on Echo, because I never hear anyone mention Echo. That was his I hear a bit about Terry Moore's Strangers in Paradise on YouTube, and of course Rachel Rising, because it's coming out now. But Echo was his series that was just before Rachel Rising, that went about 30 issues, and was really good. It was more of a sci-fi series, sci-fi superhero, but still Terry Moore, so... But that was a really good series. I'm going to have to show those issues off because I haven't seen them yet on YouTube. But anyway, Rachel Rising is one you should be getting. And next we have No Mercy, issue 5. I haven't seen this in a while. Nice cover by Carla Speed McNeil. By the way, there's Carla Speed McNeil is doing Finder again in Dark Horse Presents. That really got me excited because I really like Carla Speed McNeil's writing as well as her artwork. But No Mercy and the kids on the bus down in South America getting into trouble with a bus crash, trying to survive. I guess you'd call it survival horror in a way. But I've enjoyed the first 4 issues of this. The first issue of it I really wasn't fond of, but then it picked up with issue 2 and 3, and it's been good ever since. So if you're looking for sort of a survival horror high school story, here you go. No Mercy number 5. 1 through 4 must be out in a trade, unless this is the... I can't even remember. I don't think the story arc ended, but you know how these things are when it's continuing stories with trades these days. Sometimes there's no real story arcs. It just stops for a moment. So this may have just stopped, or this may be the end of the story arc, or the story arc may have ended last issue. Who knows? I'll see with this issue. And next we have Monstrous, issue number 2. Very much enjoyed the first issue. This one on the pull list, I think it did. I don't think I ordered this one issue by issue, but well, I'll have to double check my pull. Oh, nice artwork. She built this whole mystical world. All these people doing stuff. People and animal people and magical people and evil people and war fighting and one woman haunted by a giant monster who maybe could destroy everyone. We'll have to see where this one goes, but the giant-sized first issue certainly was good. So we'll see if the regular-sized second issue is just as good. And next we have Birthright, issue number 12. Look, that shadow is moving across. Taking so much time to make this that the shadows are moving. Birthright, issue number 12. Birthright never has the best covers for some reason. I'm enjoying this one. Despite Ghost Critic no longer liking it, I think it's good. Now it seems like the guy who went to the mysterious world and grew up faster than his little brother and has some sort of demon attached to him some sort of good angel is now attached to his brother, and they're going to have to continue to go on their travels, and we'll see which one wins in the end. Because both of the brothers are good. Just the older brother, who came back as this barbarian hero, has been corrupted by this evil demon. And we'll have to see if his younger brother can help him fight off the corruption. That's kind of what Birthright is about. But I'm liking the story. I'm keeping with it. So get yourself some Birthright. And the last thing we'll show you back here is my blue and red punks that I've been working on lately. I've been breaking out my colored ink again. And these are actually some of these drawings from my Message T comic strip that runs on Saturday on my Radiant Comics site. And I just decided to pull out the drawings and kind of remake them in a color and add stuff to them. And instead of a message, they have all-seeing eyes on their shirts. I just kind of took them, inked them, tatted up their faces. I like drawing designs on faces. And so far I've done these 4. Oops. They're in comic book size, so they're in comic book bags and boards. It was just interesting working in colored ink. I've never really drawn in colored ink before. They're all about just making these sort of grungy, marked up people. And I kind of like them. So, there you go. There's a little look at some art and some comics. And we'll see you all next week.